what exactly is the spiritual path? What does it mean to be spiritual? Right? So, every human being consists of the matter layers: your body, your mind, your intellect. These are your matter layers. And the fourth layer, which you don't know, the three matter layers you know, is the spirit, the self, Atman in Sanskrit, divinity, God in English. So when your attention, interest is on the body and the senses, the mind and the emotions and attachments, intellect and all these thoughts and ideologies, you are a material, worldly, sensual person. It's very simple. When your thought shifts to the self in you, the divinity in you, you are being spiritual. It boils down to that, nothing else. So now the challenge is, how do you become spiritual? How do you shift that focus? That's the whole exercise, right? Because as long as your focus is on these material layers, you will never be fulfilled and happy. The nature of these equipments is they can never be satisfied with whatever you give them. They're insatiable. So the whole process starts at the intellectual level. You have to use your intellect to understand what the self is, what life is, what this play of divinity and the world is. This is called Jnana Yoga, the path of knowledge. And when you start understanding the higher, what it is all about, your emotions automatically follow that direction set by the intellect. This is called Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. And then your body, your actions will do what it takes to achieve that goal. This is called Karma Yoga, the path of action. It's as simple as that. Or as difficult as that, I don't know. Simple to one who knows is very, very complicated to a person who doesn't know. But it boils down to this. See, I gave this example recently. I'm just reminded. So, a person is living in utter poverty, but he's brilliant and he reads. There's a scholarship available at a top university in America. He's in a village in India. And then he says what all he'll get, and he understands. If he gets that, he will be out of poverty, his family will be out of poverty. Not only that, he'll have an opportunity to learn the latest. So once he understands that, what it is, automatically the mind develops a deep commitment to achieve that, to get there. That is emotion. There's a strong desire to achieve that. And automatically his body will act. He will dedicate all his actions to achieving that goal. Of course, this is a worldly example, but it's the same principle. So only when your intellect understands that the self, these higher values are far greater than anything you're doing here in this world. And this world is nothing but suffering and sorrow, ultimately futile. Automatically your mind develops that deep devotion, that commitment to achieve that. That's all that devotion is. And you perform selfless actions to get there. This is karma, action. So this, in a nutshell, is the spiritual path. So what separates you from the self is this ego and selfishness, desires, ego, selfishness. Now, the only way to remove desires is to shift your thought on something higher, like I just explained. The lower desires drop off until you remove the last remaining traces of your ego and selfishness. That's when you get enlightenment. So, Vedanta explains the problem and has clear-cut solutions. The problem is your desire and attachment. The solution is knowledge, devotion, and action. Nothing else. That, in summary, is the spiritual path.